Ladies, have you ever found yourself exhausted mentally, emotionally, spiritually because you're holding on too tight? Holding on to a relationship, a person, an idea of how things should be. You've prayed, you've given your all, and yet deep inside you feel drained because you're gripping something that God never intended for you to carry. Let me tell you something today. There is power in detachment. Not the kind of detachment that hardens your heart or makes you bitter. No, I'm talking about the kind of detachment that sets you free. The kind that allows you to stand firm in your worth, to walk confidently in your purpose, and to radiate a spirit that commands respect. Now, let's get real for a moment. We've been told since we were little girls that love means holding on, that commitment means clinging, that being desirable means being available at all times, waiting, hoping, proving ourselves worthy of a man's attention. But what if I told you that the most powerful, captivating women are the ones who know how to let go? See, when a woman is anchored in her identity, when she is rooted in the knowledge that her value does not depend on whether someone chooses her or not, she moves differently. She speaks with authority. She doesn't chase, she attracts. And let me tell you, there is nothing more magnetic than a woman who walks with the assurance that she lacks nothing. Now, let's look at this from a spiritual perspective. In the book of Proverbs, wisdom is often personified as a woman. A woman who doesn't beg, who doesn't plead, who doesn't compromise herself just to be accepted. No, wisdom stands tall, calling out to those who will listen, knowing her worth and never lowering her standard. That is the essence of a woman who detaches. She is fully engaged in her life, fully committed to her growth, but not attached to outcomes that are not in alignment with her divine purpose. And let me tell you something else, men see that. They recognize it. Because a woman who detaches operates from a place of security, not desperation. And there is nothing more attractive than a woman who knows she is enough, with or without anyone's approval. So today, I want to challenge you, are you holding on to something or someone out of fear? Are you afraid that if you let go, you'll be left with nothing? Sister, let me remind you, your completeness is already within you. It is not found in the validation of a man. It is found in your relationship with the one who created you, the one who called you worthy from the very beginning. Now, I know this might stir something in you. Maybe it's making you rethink the way you've been showing up in your relationships. Maybe it's challenging you to release control in a way that feels uncomfortable. But that's good, because transformation begins where comfort ends. And I believe that God is calling you to step into a new level of confidence, a new level of trust, a new level of peace. Detachment is not rejection. It's a truth that many women struggle with because we've been conditioned to believe that love is synonymous with holding on. That real love means never letting go, fighting until the very last breath, proving over and over again that we are worthy of being chosen. But what if I told you that real love, healthy love, never requires you to abandon yourself? That detaching from something that is draining you, confusing you, or causing you to compromise your worth is not a sign of rejection, but a sign of honoring who you are. Too many times, women feel like stepping back from a relationship or no longer chasing someone's approval means that they are giving up, that they are being cold, unfeeling, or somehow not doing enough. But detachment is not about being emotionless, it's about being wise. It's about knowing when something is no longer serving you and refusing to diminish yourself just to fit into a space that was never meant to hold you. Detachment is not an act of weakness, it is an act of strength. It is the confidence to say, I trust that what is meant for me will never require me to beg for it. When a woman practices detachment, she is not saying that she doesn't care. She is not walking away with a hardened heart or an attitude of pride. She is simply choosing herself. She is making a decision that reflects her self-respect, her standards, and her faith. She understands that love should never feel like a game of proving and persuading. If she has to continuously convince someone to see her worth, then she is already in the wrong situation. Men are drawn to a woman who carries herself with a sense of quiet assurance. There is something incredibly magnetic about a woman who does not chase, but rather moves through life with a deep sense of knowing that what is for her will always find her. That kind of confidence is felt before it is even spoken. It is sensed in the way she carries herself, in the way she interacts, in the way she chooses where to place her energy. She does not run after someone who is inconsistent. She does not exhaust herself trying to hold on to a man who is unsure about her. She does not believe that her value diminishes simply because someone does not recognize it. Detachment allows a woman to experience relationships from a place of wholeness instead of desperation. She does not need to cling to someone out of fear that she will be left with nothing. She does not operate from a place of scarcity where she believes that this one person is her only chance at love. Instead, she understands that real connection is never forced, that the right relationship will never require her to lose herself. There is an undeniable peace that comes with detachment. It is a peace that says, I release what is not mine so that I can fully receive what is. It is the ability to let go, not because she doesn't care, but because she cares about herself enough to know when something is no longer aligned with who she is becoming. Too many women settle because they fear that letting go means missing out. But in reality, letting go is often the very thing that allows the right person to enter. When a woman clings to something that is not right for her, she blocks the blessings that are trying to reach her. She stays stuck in a cycle of emotional exhaustion, trying to force something to work that was never meant to last. But when she steps into detachment, she opens up space for something greater. Men are instinctively drawn to a woman who is secure within herself. A woman who does not seek validation through their attention, but rather carries a presence that speaks for itself. A woman who does not react in desperation, but moves with wisdom. A woman who is not afraid to step back when something is no longer serving her. There is something undeniably captivating about that level of self-respect. It sends a message without saying a word. I am whole. I am enough. I do not chase, I attract. Detachment does not mean shutting down emotionally. It does not mean walking away from love. It means being willing to walk away from anything that requires you to compromise your dignity. It means having faith that what is truly meant for you will never require you to beg, plead, or prove your worth. It means knowing that your presence is a privilege, and anyone who does not see that is simply making room for someone who will. A woman who knows her worth doesn't chase, she attracts. This is not about arrogance or superiority, but about a deep, unshakable understanding of value. A woman who truly knows her worth moves differently. She walks into a room with confidence, not because she needs attention, but because she is sure of who she is. She does not scramble for validation, nor does she shrink herself to fit into spaces that cannot contain her greatness. There is an undeniable energy around a woman who is secure within herself. She does not seek permission to be seen. She simply exists in her full, radiant presence, and that alone is enough. When a woman chases, it is often because she has been conditioned to believe that love must be pursued, fought for, and earned. She has been told that if she tries harder, loves more, and proves her loyalty, she will be chosen. But the truth is, real connection does not require chasing. It does not require bending, forcing, or over-explaining. When something is right, it flows. It aligns. It feels natural. A woman who understands her worth knows that her presence is not a bargaining tool. She does not manipulate or beg for affection. She does not wait by the phone, hoping that someone will realize her value. She knows that the right person will recognize it without needing to be convinced. Men sense this energy. They are instinctively drawn to a woman who is self-assured, a woman who operates from a place of fullness rather than lack. Desperation repels, but confidence captivates. It is not about physical appearance, social status, or material possessions. It is about the way she carries herself. A woman who does not chase radiates an inner peace that is both intriguing and attractive. She does not play games or engage in tactics to keep someone interested. She simply remains in her authenticity, knowing that what is meant for her will always come willingly. This kind of woman does not settle for half-hearted love. She does not entertain inconsistency or tolerate behavior that contradicts her standards. She understands that respect is not something she has to ask for, it is something she naturally commands. When a man senses that a woman is unshaken by his presence, when he realizes that she is not emotionally dependent on his validation, he sees her differently. She becomes someone he admires, someone he respects, someone he knows he cannot take for granted. Chasing creates an imbalance in relationships. It places one person in a position of constant pursuit while the other remains in a place of comfort. But a woman who attracts understands the power of mutual energy. She knows that the right connection does not require one-sided effort. She does not exhaust herself trying to convince someone to stay. She is not moved by mixed signals, unavailable behavior, or temporary attention. She understands that love should never feel like a competition. This kind of woman also embraces the beauty of patience. She does not rush into situations out of fear or loneliness. She allows things to unfold naturally, trusting that what is meant for her will never require her to betray herself. She understands that her time is valuable, her presence is a gift, and her heart is not something to be handed out carelessly. She does not place her worth in how many people desire her, but in how deeply she values herself. Men recognize when a woman operates from a place of abundance. They sense when she is secure in her skin, when she is focused on her growth, when she is living a life that excites her with or without a relationship. There is something incredibly attractive about a woman who is whole on her own. She does not need someone to complete her. She is already complete. And because of this, she does not accept anything that disrupts her peace. This is not about playing hard to get or pretending to be uninterested. It is about genuinely being at peace with oneself. It is about knowing that love is not about grasping for someone's attention, but about aligning with someone who sees, values, and respects you without you having to fight for it. It is about trusting that the right people will enter your life effortlessly, drawn to the very essence of who you are. Confidence and emotional independence are magnetic. There is something undeniably captivating about a woman who walks into a room with quiet assurance. A woman who does not need to announce her worth because it is evident in the way she carries herself. She does not seek validation from external sources, nor does she allow her emotions to be dictated by the actions or opinions of others. She is secure in who she is, and that security creates an energy that draws people in. A woman who is emotionally independent does not crumble under the weight of uncertainty. She does not become anxious or restless when someone pulls away because she understands that her happiness is not dependent on another person. She does not feel the need to overanalyze, overreach, or overextend herself in relationships. Instead, she remains grounded, knowing that the right people will stay and the wrong ones will reveal themselves in time. She is not shaken by temporary distance, unanswered messages, or moments of silence. She trusts in her own ability to navigate life with or without the presence of another person. Men are naturally drawn to this type of woman. There is an air of mystery around her, not because she is playing games, but because she does not desperately seek attachment. She is fully present in the moment, yet she remains unattached to the outcome. She does not cling, chase, or attempt to control. She simply exists in a state of peace, knowing that what is meant for her will always align effortlessly. This kind of energy is rare, and anything that is rare becomes valuable. When a woman lacks confidence, it is evident in the way she interacts. She may constantly seek reassurance, second-guess herself, or tolerate behavior that does not honor her. She may feel the need to prove her worth, thinking that if she just does more, gives more, or sacrifices more, she will finally be seen. But confidence does not beg to be seen, it commands attention effortlessly. Confidence does not need to explain itself, it simply is. Emotional independence does not mean shutting people out or refusing to feel. It means having the ability to experience emotions without becoming consumed by them. It means allowing love without losing oneself. It means caring deeply while still maintaining personal boundaries. A woman who is emotionally independent knows that her well-being is her own responsibility. She does not place the burden of her happiness on another person's actions, nor does she allow someone's inconsistency to dictate her sense of self-worth. Men recognize when a woman stands firmly in her identity. She does not mold herself to fit another person's expectations, nor does she abandon her own needs for the sake of approval. She embraces her uniqueness, understanding that she does not need to be anyone other than who she truly is. There is nothing more attractive than authenticity, and confidence stems from knowing that authenticity is enough. A woman who possesses both confidence and emotional independence does not operate from fear. She does not make decisions out of desperation, nor does she tolerate disrespect. She does not stay in places where she is not valued, nor does she entertain relationships that drain her energy. She knows what she brings to the table, and because of this, she refuses to settle for anything less than what aligns with her highest self. This kind of woman is a breath of fresh air. She is not weighed down by insecurity or the need for constant affirmation. She is at peace with herself, and that peace radiates outward, drawing others toward her. People want to be around her not because she is trying to impress them, but because her energy is refreshing. She does not seek to be the loudest voice in the room, yet she is always heard. She does not demand attention, yet she is always noticed. Her confidence allows her to move freely, unbothered by external pressures. She does not compare herself to others because she knows that her path is unique. She does not feel threatened by other women because she understands that someone else's beauty, success, or love life does not diminish her own. She walks with a spirit of abundance, knowing that there is enough love, success, and joy to go around. Emotional independence allows her to engage in relationships from a place of strength rather than need. She does not expect a man to complete her because she is already whole. She does not seek someone to save her because she has already saved herself. She does not cling out of fear, but connects from a place of genuine desire. This kind of woman does not fear being alone because she enjoys her own company. She does not need to be entertained, distracted, or constantly reassured. She is content within herself, and that contentment is what makes her so irresistible. Letting go of control opens the door for true alignment. There is a natural tendency in many women to want to direct, manage, and ensure that things work out the way they envision. It comes from a place of care, from a desire to see relationships flourish, from the deep belief that effort leads to results. But when it comes to matters of the heart, clinging too tightly can push away the very things that are meant to flow effortlessly. There is a difference between nurturing something and trying to force it. When a woman tries to control the direction of a relationship, she unknowingly shifts into a space of fear rather than trust. She begins to micromanage every interaction, analyze every word, and anticipate every possible outcome. She feels that if she just says the right things, does the right things, or adjusts her behavior enough, she can shape the relationship into what she wants it to be. But love is not meant to be manipulated or manufactured. Love is meant to unfold naturally in a way that does not require constant striving. Men are deeply drawn to women who allow things to flow instead of trying to force them. There is an undeniable beauty in a woman who trusts that what is meant for her will come with ease. This does not mean that she is passive or indifferent, but rather that she understands the power of surrender. She does not demand certainty at every turn. She does not pressure someone into defining things before they are ready. She does not live in a constant state of anxiety, wondering where she stands. Instead, she is rooted in faith in herself, faith in her worth, and faith that the right person will meet her where she is without needing to be pushed. A woman who releases control moves differently. She does not spend her time overthinking, dissecting, or strategizing how to keep someone interested. She does not exhaust herself trying to manage how someone perceives her. She is not caught up in playing a role, pretending to be something she is not, or molding herself into whatever she thinks a man wants. She simply exists in her authenticity, allowing her energy to speak for itself. When a woman lets go of control, she creates space for the right people to step forward willingly. She is no longer trying to convince someone of her worth. She is no longer overcompensating or doing the emotional labor to keep a connection alive. She understands that real alignment does not require force. When something is truly meant for her, it will not feel like an uphill battle. It will feel peaceful, steady, and secure. Men are deeply aware of the difference between a woman who trusts the process and a woman who is trying to control it. A woman who trusts carries a sense of ease, and that ease is attractive. It allows a man to step up in his own time, to pursue naturally, to engage in a way that is not pressured or manufactured. But when a woman tries to control the direction of the relationship, it creates resistance. It shifts the energy from one of mutual attraction to one of obligation. It turns something organic into something structured and rigid. Letting go of control is also an act of self-respect. A woman who trusts in the flow of life is saying to herself and to the world, I believe that what is meant for me will never pass me by. She is not anxiously waiting for a call or a text. She is not second-guessing whether she should reach out again after being met with indifference. She is not bending over backward to prove that she is worthy of commitment. She is at peace with knowing that if someone truly wants to be in her life, they will make the effort. She does not need to chase, force, or overextend herself. There is something deeply magnetic about a woman who carries this level of trust. She is not emotionally swayed by temporary inconsistencies because she knows that real connections do not require constant reassurance. She understands that if someone is unsure about her, that is all the clarity she needs. She does not waste time trying to change someone's mind. She does not cling to potential. She moves with a quiet confidence that communicates she is not waiting for someone to choose her, she is choosing herself first. Men respect a woman who operates from this space. They recognize when a woman is not seeking to control them, but instead allowing them to come toward her in their own way, in their own time. This does not mean she tolerates inconsistency or ambiguity, but rather that she allows actions to speak for themselves. She does not force a man to prove himself, but she does observe whether his actions align with his words. She does not beg for clarity, but she does make choices that protect her peace. A woman who lets go of control is a woman who lives with freedom. She is not bound by anxiety over the future or weighed down by the need to make something work. She embraces the flow of life, knowing that the right things will never require excessive effort to maintain. She understands that the most fulfilling relationships are the ones that feel natural, not the ones that feel like a constant struggle to hold together. She trusts in timing and alignment, and most importantly, in herself. Your value is God-given, not man-given. Your worth isn't defined by attention, approval, or validation from others. It's already established by the one who created you. When a woman understands this, she no longer seeks her value in relationships, nor does she allow rejection to shake her confidence. A woman who knows her worth doesn't beg to be chosen. She doesn't settle for inconsistency, half-hearted effort, or empty promises. She moves with assurance, understanding that what is truly meant for her will never require her to chase, beg, or force anything. Men are drawn to a woman who carries this quiet confidence. She doesn't try to control outcomes or shrink herself to fit someone else's expectations. Instead, she trusts, walks in faith, and focuses on her own growth. She is radiant, secure, and free, already whole within herself.